Hey man, you ever look into flat earth?
Okay, I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit faster too. I got some of the footage. This is not a time lapse. This is actual video footage. And I didn't realize how hard it was to get, um, to really film this 1% moon. I had issues because of the way that the light was and how close it was to the sun. Um, so I did have to set my ISO up for some reason. It just wasn't picking it up with the regular settings. So I turned my ISO up um, to where I could actually get this glow, this 1% glow of the moon. I thought it was pretty interesting because you don't get to see a 1% too often, which I was waiting for it. I was out filming and I'm like, oh, and I almost forgot about it until the last minute I saw it and I was like, oh, I got to film this. It was pretty low on the horizon already. Um, like I said, this is sped up 2 times. Little zoom in here, letting it just kind of uh, depart through the camera as it's converging toward the horizon. That's that's something too. If you don't go along with the establishment and say that it's going over a curve, they use the moon and the sunset as proof of a globe, and they apparently just don't understand perspective. Because if they was to use perspective and also take into consideration magnification due to the atmospheric conditions, and I'm going to say atmospheric, um, it should be hemisphere, um, or a top surface. Maybe we're looking like at some kind of a mirror, a concave mirror in the sky, um, and that could really affect how we view the stars and everything. And that's why all the constellations seem to stay in the same spot. Um, but again, if you go against the establishment, you're considered one of these conspiracy theorists. And that was just me converting from one video. It was a transition. But this part I sped up 3 times. And in regular speed, it seemed to move real slow, which was really weird to me because usually it seems to move a little bit faster, especially when it's right over your head. You're filming and it seems to move a little bit faster. Um, and again, this part here is sped up 3 times. Um, it was pretty cool to catch it at a 1%. And uh, the other thing I want to talk about is the censorship that YouTube's doing. Why? I mean, why on Green Earth are they censoring Flat Earth? I mean, what are they? Are they afraid of something? That's what gets me. And the Globers can say whatever they want. It doesn't matter to me. But if you come on my channel and you make insults, you're gone. I'm no longer going to argue with people that want to just troll my channel, call names, and have nothing to back themselves up, no proof of their own. If you say the earth spins, go out and prove the earth spins. I mean, seriously, go out and prove that it's the earth spinning and not the sky moving, the stars moving. Um, Geocentric earth. Yes, we are at the center of it. Um, a lot of geocentric people think that the earth is still a ball, but we are at the center of the universe, and that's why all the constellations stay the same. I, on the other hand, think that we live in not a flat Earth, because flat would mean perfectly flat, and nothing is perfectly flat, really, except for water that is undisturbed. Undisturbed water will be the perfect level. That's why sea level, lakes, ponds, they're level. Now you might have some optical effects that occur due to water evaporation, and that is the big thing. Water evaporates, it's in our sky. Water also magnifies. That's why, as if you're in an area like Florida, sometimes you'll see this what looks like a giant sun, and it's not. It's just more evaporated water. Again, the water molecules in the air acts as a magnifying glass, and it does magnify things. And I am going to try to exploit that with some of my videos of the Bayport Bird Rack, which is approximately 3.5 miles from the location that I filmed from. And I'm going to try to show how, even at full zoom, it gives you a different appearance depending on the mirroring, depending on uh, water and air temperature, depending on the evaporation rate. Um, yep, this part I just sped up 2 times. This is just right off the camera, no monkeying around with it. Um, but I want to use that Bayport bird rack as a good example because it's the closest one to me to show the difference in sizes, even at full zoom, on all the same settings. I mean, you really can't change the settings unless you go to, take it off digital. Um, Other than that, I'm always like full bore, always wanting to zoom in full, at full zoom. So I do have a lot of evidence of this bird rack um, beacon light changing um, in its size and shape. And I'll discuss that as I go along. Also, after I got done uh, filming the moon here, I mean it was to the point where I could no longer film it. I took some long exposure pictures, um, and again, this is after uh, the sunset, so this was like a 2.5 minute exposure. Um, Same here, 2.5 minute exposure. And another 2.5 minute exposure turned more to the south, picking up some of the light pollution coming off the city, and you still got some of the light coming from the sun on the right of the screen there. Now this was more toward the northwest, and this was pretty straight up. And then I ran it through some filters, and this is what I wanted to show. That this Milky Way galaxy. You've seen it where the original picture, and then when you run it through some filters, you can change it. I don't have Photoshop, so I can't get all these different like pinks and colors in it. I just got some filters to run through. But as I change it through these filters, it gives you a different appearance of it. Um, so that's why I always say, question the establishment. They're not always what you think they are. Thanks for watching.